Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Saturday News Crew. My name is Jules Gill, and we are joined by Philip G. Chambers. The G stands for Goodbye BritRes, because unfortunately last night IPW announced that it would be closing its doors sometime in the near future. The NXT movement, as it were, that the WWE promised would never affect British wrestling has unfortunately scalped yet another victim in its giant encroachment onto the UK soil. So, in honour of all they have done for us, we are going to take a moment of silence to pay respect to the death of British wrestling.
Jules?
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there.
You really need to stop
I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm really not. That's really insensitive.
Disgrace.
Anyway, we do have some more news. That's lighten the tone a little bit.
Yeah, you can come up from that now.
Yeah. Hit the jingle.
No. Stop it.
Why
It's the news, it's Saturday.
It's so good to make a
just
jingle.
stop it.
Okay, fine. So what are we starting with then? Starting with 2K, aren't we?
Yes.
Speaking of incompetent fools, let's talk about 2K. Now,
What are you
recently...
calling the incompetent fool in that?
Well, not me. So basically, so if you've ever played the WWE 2K games, you'll know that they have started off well, simulation wrestling, and have slowly started to year on year be chipped away at. We covered it in great deal over on the gaming channel about the sort of rise and fall and then plummet of the 2K games, especially with 2K20.
Let's
doing
put a link,
rounds.
wherever it is.
Yeah, it's around
It's a
here.
light, up there.
Yep, so over my face, brilliant. And so it's a bad game that unfortunately is a product of a franchise year-on-year installment system where they never allow the people working on it to actually step back and refine the system. They're basically just building on sand and it's sinking and breaking in different ways.
Yeah.
Now, we're not actually talking about the game itself, but unfortunately 2K20's social media sites have been hacked. And I've got a smile on my face, but some of the stuff that they put up there is incredibly...
We can't read it all.
Yeah, we can't read it all.
You can go find it yourself if you want to read it all.
Yeah, I'll give you some of the stuff that is PG enough to actually read out here, but it comes courtesy, if you want to use that word, of Nublom, who is, I don't know if Nublom, or it's capital N, lowercase u, capital B, capital L, lowercase o, capital M. Nublom, are we agreeing with that? Good.
Yeah.
Well, Nublom says, brah, Nublom runs the world. That was the first one. Then it went into a few things that I definitely will not be reading out. Then it went to WWE is fake on their Facebook page, which got 4.4 thousand likes and reactions.
Best post they've ever done.
And then I'll lead off with that one, because I feel like that one, it's no worse than what Simon Miller gets up to on the weekend, which is, yo, let's get 10,000 likes and I'll release Randy Orton gang banging a Triple H. I think you might have to censor one of those words in there because Triple H.
I'm gonna do it,
Yeah, fair enough. So it's unfortunate that they've had their social media hacked, but even more so that they don't seem to be able to control this at all, because they put out a statement saying, and I'll read this though because this is an actual quote from 2K themselves on their Twitter. We are aware that social media accounts across the 2K label have been compromised and offensive material is being posted that does not reflect the values of 2K or our partners. We are actively working to fix this as soon as possible. And this was met with resounding, not sympathy in the slightest, but resounding comments of fix Universal mode. Why can't I wear different attires on Universal mode? Why is Charlotte Flair disappearing outside of the ring? Why is Ronda Rousey's legs going to... Honest to Christ.
You've got other things to fix. Leave Facebook alone.
They cannot catch a break, this one. So yes, unfortunately, they have been hacked. So if you see any sort of questionable material going up on there, then you probably know why, that it's probably not coming directly from 2K. So yeah, there we go.
Fun times. Speaking of incompetence.
Oh, look, yeah, there we go.
We've got to join Jon Moxley again on another StarCast panel. We've got more quotes from him because it's really good stuff. It was on a StarCast panel over the weekend after AEW, and I'm just going to read out the whole quote. It's quite long.
Okay.
I will read it all out.
I'm settled in.
This very much sums out his mindset at the end of his WWE run. So, the whole time from when I came back to about the beginning of the year, I knew I was leaving, but I was pissed about it. I wasn't excited to leave. I was bitter about it. And I couldn't believe that they're going to make me leave. I can't believe they're going to make me walk away from all this money. Can they not write just one good storyline? Can they not just give me one good promo? Does everything have to be effing stupid? Does everything have to make me look like an idiot? For F's sake, you're going to make me walk away from all this effing money because it's not like I wanted that money. Yeah, I want it, but I'm not doing that stuff. So I was pissed. I can't believe they were so incompetent that they were going to make me walk away from all this money. Jesus Christ, now I have to go back to the indies. F it, let's go.
Oh my God. I mean, he summed it up perfectly with that. It's like, can they not just get one decent storyline?
They just give me one good storyline, one good promo, and I can stay and make all this money. But no, they just won't let me make all this money.
All that's literally coming into my mind now are the Lana and Rusev angle is slowly raising on this side, and then on this side it's the bloody mascot from from last night's SmackDown. This side, we're just like, can they not just write a decent angle? It's way too pantomime. He's totally right, because I mean, he went from being an absolute badass to being a guy who had that ridiculous wacky clothesline, pulling down a red cart full of mustard, and then getting an injection in the bottom because he was afraid of catching germs. Everything about his character towards the end spiraled down into a singularity of stupidity.
I think that paragraph just sums up where his mindset was absolutely perfectly. He went on as well to say that he finally decided that he was going to take the plunge and step away. He went on a hike with Renee Young and he spoke about it and what his future could be. And he was deciding I'll probably go back to the indies. I'll at least be able to make my own schedule. He'll probably go wrestle in New Japan. It's like his future at the point of leaving WWE was not certain at all. Was not set in stone. I mean, obviously, he's hugely landed on his feet. Immediately, he left WWE, went straight to New Japan, won the United States Championship.
I do wonder as well, because the formation of AEW came at a very fortuitous time.
Oh yeah,
whether or not he would have stuck it out for a little bit longer had he got the inklings that other stuff was going on, or would he have just gone, right, I'm quitting. This is it.
It seems like that's it. He just wanted out, even though he had all that money on the table.
You have to respect the man, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you are working for somebody who you just despise, or in an environment that makes you feel like less of a person, then you have to change that, because it's just going to grind you down more and more and more. I hate to use him as an example, but Shorty G is the perfect representation of the WWE ridiculous machine. He's coming out to a gimmick that's completely stupid. The fans do not like it whatsoever. It's absolutely crippling his sort of career in the long term, and yet because he's not known anything else and doesn't know any other way of
very
working,
much a part of the WWE system.
He just is well, this is what wrestling is, right? And I'm just oh man, you're so much better than this. But fair play to Moxley. But he's not the only one who obviously has been requesting his release recently.
Indeed.
I mean, we know from the past that we've had Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis as well. We've had Luke Harper. The Revival made a big stink as well. Sin Cara's the latest one, who on the WWE European tour, he put out a heartfelt tweet saying, look, I don't enjoy working for the WWE anymore. It's making me feel like less of a wrestler and less of a person.
That's sad.
And requested his release effective immediately. The WWE responded with sending him home, because they just pack your bags, mate. But they haven't released him. They have apparently speculation is that they have denied his release because apparently he's got 3 years left on his contract. Now, Sin Cara, I would agree, has not been used very well. I would say that his character has been he's had issues.
The character was dead for a long time.
The whole
done a lot more with.
Do you remember the Blue versus Black one? And that was just it was just like that. It was so confusing for such a simple thing. It should have just been hey, look, we want to bring in a new Rey Mysterio, and you're just not that at all. But yeah, he's requested his release. He was effectively denied it, or speculations have said. But the funny thing about this is that they couldn't let it go without a parting shot. The Wrestling Observer reported that the WWE has only got interest in letting people go from their contract if they feel A, that they won't sign with AEW, and B, if they do sign for AEW, that they will have no actual tangible impact on that product. And they still wouldn't let him go. So they basically just saying whatever. They might let him go because of that, because of the fact he said that he wants to go and do MMA stuff now, so he might be pushed out the door.
What a sad world in WWE it is, when you can only get released
if
when
you're
they
useless.
Think so little of you that they don't even think you'll have an impact.
It's just sad. The state of affairs for some wrestlers, I imagine, who are just not on TV, they haven't been used correctly. I'm sure that there are a fair few of them that are fine with their lot in life. A steady paycheck is a steady paycheck. But it just feels like it's just an inhibitor to so many talents. So there we go. That's Sin Cara potentially getting the boot because he's useless in the eyes of the WWE. Ouch.
Hey, it's a step up. At least they're considering letting him go.
Oh, right, okay, I see.
I mean, it's a really crap step up, but it's a step up nonetheless. Anyway, moving away from WWE for a bit, the AEW Full Gear buys, rough buys, I should say, are out. It turns out that Full Gear did about 100,000 buys on pay-per-view.
That's good.
Which is around the same as All Out and Double or Nothing, and it's twice what they got for All In, which is the one that kickstarted the whole company at the minute. So that's good for them. They're not releasing the streaming numbers, unfortunately, but they have said that they are very similar to All Out.
Okay.
So there's no drop in the numbers for AEW.
That's really impressive.
Because it's not as big of a show as All Out. All Out was a big deal.
We've got to look at the cooling off period as well, because it's like if you've got any new sort of product or anything that comes in, you've got that hype wave, and then it usually dies down when people get used to the sort of flow. But if it's maintaining a consistent thing, that's the best possible result they can get.
Yeah. And for, like, I know they don't do many pay-per-views, but I guess Full Gear you could probably call a B pay-per-view.
Yeah, I guess
it's still keeping up at the same level. In terms of going into the future, the plan is to still do 4 pay-per-views a year for next year.
Cool.
But they haven't released any names or dates or places yet.
Okay.
So we'll be interested to see where they go from there.
AEW is like an interesting one because of the fact that they're resetting the roster and the score rankings, aren't they?
Scores, yeah. Well, possibly.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of a promotion that actually does that, like hard, like keep the win-loss like
It kind of makes sense because if you end up going like 10 years down the line and Jericho's on like 500 wins to 200 losses, it might just become a little bit meaningless.
Yeah. Well, speaking of meaningless, let's talk about the stipulation for the apparent match that's coming up at TLC between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. Now, if you have been following SmackDown recently, you will obviously be aware of how absolutely goddamn hot garbage that entire gimmick of Baron Corbin coming down and just going, here's a chihuahua, oh look, it's Roman Reigns. Big dog, little dog, ha ha ha.
It woofs in time to his music.
So,
woof woof. Woof, woof.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm like a dog.
Woof, woof,
yeah,
woof,
I'm very aware.
Woof,
I was there.
Woof, woof.
Thank you.
Woof, 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 woof.
It's like
it's good.
Good. It turns me into a dog, in that my dick goes up inside me whenever I listen to that sort of stuff. But anyway, apparently the match between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns at TLC, the stipulation is going to be. Stop it! I'm going to deliver the news. It's going to be a dog collar match. Now, have you seen a dog collar match before?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Not good.
They're bad. It's Russo-rific booking at its finest. Oh, he's put a dog collar on.
He's a big dog. He's wearing a big dog collar.
The only thing that I think could be good coming out of this is if the dog collar is spiked and they use that to ram someone's eye out. That is all I'm and then he can be like one-eyed, patched Baron Corbin, and his next gimmick will be a pirate king, and he'll come down with Kairi Sane on a little thing. That's a good gimmick. You know what I mean?
No one wants a dog collar match though. Kennel from Hell. That's what everyone is clamoring for.
No.
Bring it back. 2020, 2019 could be the year.
Right. Okay.
Kennel from Hell.
This seems like.
Woof, woof, woof.
Stop.
Woof, woof.
I've got to finish this. Right. So.
Woof.
It's the dog poop. The dog poop. That's the match we want. We want to see the British Bulldog versus The Rock, and we want to see somebody like pile drived into some dog poo, and then that should be the end of the match, because this entire angle is absolute turd. So yeah, there we go. That's been the news.
Wait, no, there's more.
I'm afraid
and it doesn't involve woofing.
Okay, thank Christ.
We've got a blue belt on SmackDown.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's pretty much it.
You should have just said, speaking of angles that give you blue balls, let's talk about a blue belt. There we go.
Skip. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Fiend, well, no, not the Fiend, Bray Wyatt unveiled the new Universal Championship, his new favourite toy, and it's blue.
Is it blue? Because the lighting made it look purple to me. It looked like it was great.
It's going to look a little bit weird with the Fiend's entrance.
I would like a great
dark and red, and then this bright blue belt.
Yeah, I think that the red works so much better with it. But we obviously have to change for the brand stuff. I love his side plates though.
Yeah, the side plates are good.
Very cool.
And we're definitely getting Bryan versus Bray at Survivor Series. That was announced in a Miz TV segment where Bryan was saying that he has mental instability and therefore he can fight a mentally unstable person.
Yes, we will be chatting about this further in our SmackDown
on the podcast.
Yeah, our SmackDown podcast, because there's a lot to unpack from that about whether or not that leads to some very questionable or problematic things by saying that mental instability is a reason to fight. Not sure how I feel about that. But
anyway, should we finish?
We shall indeed. Woof 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 woof.
I do want to say, on a serious note at the end, the IPW thing at the beginning, it is very sad news. We worked with IPW with Defiant. They did like an invasion angle. It was really, really good stuff. Really enjoyed working with them. and the product that we managed to create was really, really good. But it's just another place down from the British wrestling scene. It's one less place where people can work. Simon Miller was doing a lot there. They put in some really good shows, but it's one less place where the guys can work. It's one less place where you can watch wrestling. It's one less place where people can hone their craft and get better at this, which is what people really, really need. Now that WWE have scooped up everyone from the sort of top level of the UK scene.
It's incredibly sad.
People need better places to work, better people to work with, so that they can get better. And if this keeps happening, that might not happen.
It's the territory invasion of the 80s, but just here on the UK soil. Like, I know we were doing this sort of like insane things in wrestling, gimmicky thing at the beginning, but I'm not taking the piss out of that. It's just a running thing we've got with me trying to get the theme song into everything, like right now.
Yep.
And a little bit more now.
Stop.
But still, there we go.
Anyway, wearing my Defiant Wrestling t-shirt. Support independent wrestling is my big takeaway from this. Screw whatever else we said in this video. Support independent wrestling. It needs you, and it's really bloody fun. So just go out there and watch some indie wrestling.
It's very true. But yes, if you'd like to follow us or chat further about wrestling, film, video games, comics, TV, and anything else in between, you can do so at
RestroJ.
RestroJ. Am I turning to a restaurant or a wrestler? RetroJ with a 0 for myself. And
Fill My Chambers.
Hope that you have a fantastic day, whatever you are getting up to, whatever it is you are up to this weekend. And speak to you soon. Bye.
Woof, woof. Woof, woof. Woof, woof.
Hey,
Woof,
hey.
woof.